5 minutes to join your friends, and after that, let me start the class. Okay. So in the previous classes, we discussed about all the operators, and we completed and we looked some examples, right? And I said to you, and try with some examples also. If you tried, if you face any issues, let me know. Or if else, let's wait for 5 minutes, and we will start the class. You kept the message and deleted your own message. May I know what is your question or what is your message on that? It's okay if it's in a simple greeting, or if you have any questions, you can ask me. You just, I'm here to explain to you. Okay. Okay, then let's start the class. Let me share my screen. Okay, so now yesterday we discussed about, right? So we discussed about all the operators we have: arithmetic, assignment, relational operators, logical, bitwise, unary, and we didn't discuss about the bitwise because we mostly use those, but they are same as the logical operators. There we have and or. So when we are dealing with the zeros and one, okay, which are okay, so there we use bitwise operators. Except that we are written all our operators. Okay, I just also explained to you with the program also. Okay, so you also need to do practice on that. Okay, today we will discuss the conditional statements. Today our agenda will be the core statements, and in the JSP we yesterday we created one form and took the data and we out data. Okay, so today we will do this by making one form and just validate that form. Okay, so whatever the details in form we have to take, and we will do that example on the today's class. Okay, now today we will discuss about the conditional statements. So basically the conditional statement in the Java is, so what is actually conditional statement? In real time we take the decisions, right? So if it's raining, some example, if it's raining we carry our umbrella. Okay, like that. If we have marks greater than 35, study for the example for the 10 letter, right? If the marks are greater than 35, what it will print? It will print it as a pass, not fail. Okay, so based on the certain condition, you when you want to take the based answers. Okay, so in Java, conditional state allows the program to make the decisions based on the conditions. Okay, so based on the conditions, what has to be executed and what not to be executed will be taken care of the conditional statements in the Java. So what is conditional statements? uh, or conditional statements, CS means conditional statements. If not, I will give the conditional statements allow program to make the decisions. Okay, so based on the conditions, based on the conditions. Now, so how we can keep the conditions and how the program will take the decisions. So example, for the example here itself. Okay, so ternary operator, in the case of ternary operator, see here it will checking the condition. Okay, here we are giving the condition. So based on that condition, the output is varying, right? So just like this, in our types of, in our conditional statements, we have different types. Okay, so which is if condition, if statement, and if else statement, and we also have if else if ladder statement. Okay, so these are all the conditional statements, and we also have the nested if, and we have, so okay, so these are all the five types of an if statements. Okay, so these are all the conditional statements. So we will each one of it. Okay, so now we'll go with what are the types. We have the different types, right? So type statements are if. Okay, this is one type, if statement, and if. So ternary operator is a shorthand of the if else statement, and we have if ladder. Okay, so which means if else if ladder. Okay, and we have nested if. We have nested if, and we also have the switch. So these are all the, okay, these are all the different types of conditional statements. So now if statement, we have if else statement, and if ladder, switch. Okay, so these are the different types of conditional statements we have. So for, so where be based on our condition and based on our requirement, we need to know which type of statement we need to use. Okay, so start with the if statement. Okay, we'll go with the if statement now. Now see, here here we are using, first we will discuss about the if statement, right? Okay, if statement. So basically what is our meaning of conditional statement? It will allow us to control the flow of the program. So based on our statement, okay, based on our condition, it will make the decision to which way to go. Basically that is the meaning of the conditional statement. So conditional statement allow the program or control the flow of the program, control the flow of the program, or to allow the program to make the decisions on based on the conditions. Now if statement, so if statement is, it's in a simple form of a decision making. Okay, it is in a simple form. In this, in the conditional statement, the if statement is only the simple form of the statement. Okay, simple form of the decision making or in a conditional statement. Okay, it will execute codes only if the condition is true, which means, let me write the syntax here first. Okay, so it is a simple form of the decision making statement, or we can call it as conditional statement. Okay, so it will execute only the condition is true, which means, okay, so here let me write the syntax for that. Okay, what is the syntax for the if statement? So here we need to use if. Okay, if keyword, and in the place of the brackets, whatever the condition you want to take, you need to take that condition. Okay, so based on the output of this condition only, it will work. If the condition, whatever the code you are writing inside this if block, okay, let me write it as statements. Okay, whatever the statements you are returning inside the if block, if you want to execute these statements based on the okay, based on the condition output, you can, this code will be executed, not execute that code. Okay, so let me give the example. Let me give the example here. See, take what is example I can give. So imagine, like, I have an age of 20. Okay, imagine I have the age of 20, and there I have one condition where if the age is greater than 18 only, let it print it as eligible to vote. Okay, so I'm whether if the age is greater than 20, if the age is greater than 18, then only I have to see. Example, I am just writing here system.out.println. Okay, so what I will do here, I will print it out like this: eligible to vote, eligible to vote. Okay, so now to print it out, particular age of that person has to be greater than 18. So what I has to use? Okay, this is a simple. Now I need to use a if. Okay, if keyword, and here what I do, I need to give the condition here. Whatever the age is has to be greater than or equals to 18. So this is the basic condition. If this condition satisfies, then only I need to print it out eligible to vote. Okay, then only I need to eligible to vote this particular. I'm just printing out that. So what is the key point here? The condition must return whatever the condition you are returning here, it has to return only true or false. So this is an important point in the if or wherever in the conditional statements you need to use the comparison operators to get the output as true false. Okay, here whatever the condition you are giving, it has to return true or false when you are using the conditional statements. Okay, so let me write it one program. We'll see how it's working. Launch. Now this is a if statement, right? So let me do one thing. Let me remove all these things. Close all and go to the Java perspective. First, we will go to the Java perspective and open our my first project. Inside that SRC, inside that theory, we'll create one class. So here, let me write it as a conditional. Okay, conditional statements, and I'm selecting my main method. Okay, which is public static void main. Now let me finish it. Okay, so now here we will do whatever we want. Let me increase the size. Okay, now so whatever we have in an example, right, in that, so here let me give the integer age equals to okay, if not we will take the age from the user itself. Okay, take the user input. What we need to do, we have discussed on the input statements and output classes. Anybody? Wow, new member. Who is this? Sharon. Okay. Okay, to take the input from the user, we need to use input statements. For that, we need to use a scanner class. Okay, when you want to take the user input dynamically, we need to take the scanner class, create the object of the scanner class, and by using the scanner object, okay, we can take the input from the user. Okay, we forgot that. Okay, need to import the scanner class first. Java dot till dot scanner. Okay, now what, after importing the scanner class, we need to create the object of the class. So here what we need to do, we need to take class name and give the object name here, whatever you can. Here you can give the sc or s1, whatever you can, and by using the new keyword you have to create the object of that class. Okay, again you need to write the class name, and inside that we need to take the system.in, which is standard input. Okay, standard is nothing but from the keyword we are giving the input, right? So that is a standard input, and here by using this, okay, this scanner object, we can take the input from the user. Now going before into using that object, tell the user to enter something, right? So for that we need to use the output statement, which is nothing but system dot out dot print ln. Okay, here what I am saying, I'll ask enter your age, enter your age to check you are eligible or not. Okay, so I'm just asking him to enter his age to check whether you are eligible to vote or not. Okay, so now he will enter the age that will be stored in the integer variable integer age equals to. Okay, we need to take the input from the console, right? The user will enter the input in the console by using the keyboard. So when you want to take the input from the console, we need to use this, which is nothing but s1 dot is entering the integer data type. So we has to take the integer next int. Okay, next int. So whatever the age is as enter, that was stored in this age variable. Okay, age variable. Now we need to take the condition. We need to check whether this person entering the age is eligible to vote or not. Okay, so let me write it out first here. System dot out dot print ln. Okay, so here what I will do, eligible to vote. I'm just eligible to vote. Okay, now to print it out the eligible to vote, what is the condition I have? The whatever the age is entering, it has to be greater than or equals to 18. Okay, so for that I am taking if condition. Okay, in this condition, whatever the age is given, that has greater than or equals to 18. Okay, if this condition satisfies, then only we need it out this. Then only we need to print it out that he is eligible to vote. Okay, understand, right? We need to take the input from the user. So this is a dynamic way to take the input from the user. So static means in the example given, right here I given integer a equals to 20, that 20 randomly, and I'm checking. But here, where is that? Here, right? Okay. Here randomly, okay, dynamically, I'm taking from the user. So for that, I use a scanner class import. I just imported scanner class and created object. So by using that object, I just took the input from the console and store it in the age variable. And again, I'm comparing. Okay, I'm just given the condition. If the age is 18, then I need to print the eligible to vote. Okay, let's control this and run this program. Run as Java application. So it's asking me to enter the age. Okay, let me give the age as a 13. Okay, I just given the age as a 13. So what is the output? Okay, so see when I enter 13, it is not giving anything. Okay, see it will print only if the age is greater than 18. It will not print anything less than 18. Okay, which means if the condition is false, whatever the condition is given, if that condition is false, this code will not execute. This code will not execute. So if this code not execute, there is nothing to print it out, right? For the program there is nothing to print out, so it's not giving anything. Again we will try to run this again and we'll give the different age now. Okay, now I will give the 21 and see it's giving the eligible to vote because the condition is satisfied, then it is printing the eligible to vote. Okay, so this is how when you have to take the simple condition just on based on only single condition, you can take the if statement. Okay, so now I will go with the what if else, right? So we'll go with the if else statement. So why we use if else statement means, so same as the if statement, but when there are two possible outcomes, one block runs, and if the condition is true, one block's run, and if the condition is false, another block has to be run. Okay, so now let me give it here. If else, right? So if else statement. So if else statement, what we can say, when there are two possible when there are two possible outcomes. Okay, when there are two possible outcomes, we have to use if else statements. Okay, so one block runs if the one block runs if the condition is true, and another will run if it is false, which means basically when the output is dependent on the single. Okay, so if certain condition met, I need to print it out something. If a certain condition is not met, okay, which means false, so I need to print it out something like that. Okay, so in the same cases, in the example of the voting itself, okay, if the condition is if the age is greater than 18, okay, example here itself you take here what is the syntax. Here the syntax will be if, okay, first will be if, and when you listen here we need to give the condition, we need to execute the block, okay, whatever the statement here I need to execute here. And we're saying if else, right? So here we need to take the else, okay, here we need to take the else. So this is another block of statements. Okay, so when will the first block execute, and when will be the be executed. So based out, if the condition is true, if condition is satisfied, this block will be executed, which means this is a true block. Okay, this is a true block. And if this condition is not satisfied, if this condition is not satisfied, then this false block will be executed. Okay, then this false block will be executed. I will show you the real-time example here itself. Okay, so here itself, see, check. This is the if. Okay, now what is here? We are using if-else statement. Here I'm just taking statement and I'm just printing out else place. Okay, you're not eligible to vote. Okay, in the I entered 13, it doesn't show anything to me. Okay, it doesn't show the output subsequent. Okay, which is dependent on those condition. We have two outcomes. Okay, so now if the condition is true, print it out, eligible to vote. Okay, you are eligible to vote. But if the condition is false, which means which are whoever the age is below the 18, so we need to give the response to them also, right? So here we need to use the else statement. Else statement will print if conditions get false. Okay, so then only it will print it out the else statement, which means system.out.println, you are not eligible to vote. Let's try this and run. We'll see Java application, and here let me give the 21 here once. So you're saying, sorry, didn't save it, and run again. Okay, so here let me give the 21. Okay, it's saying as you are eligible to vote. Let me run again and give the age below the 18. So let me give it as a 15. Okay, see, now it's giving the output as you are not eligible to vote. Okay, so this is the importance of the if and else block. Okay, so when you want to execute the certain block, okay, on the based on only single condition, we need to use this. Okay, in the true and in the false condition. If the condition is true, it will execute the true block. If the condition is false, it will execute the false block. Okay, if you didn't get it with the if, I can give the different example also. Enter your marks. Okay, just like that. Okay, I'm just enter your marks to check you are eligible or not. Okay, now what I will give, if the marks, whatever the marks, I will take this as a marks. Okay, now I will take this as also marks. If whatever marks he has entered, if it is greater than or equal to 35, you are eligible to the class. Okay, I'm just giving the class. You are eligible to the class. Okay, you are not promoting, just like that. So now just let me run this. I'm just saving it and running it and same. Okay, 56. Oh, sorry. 56. Okay, you are eligible to class. Again, we run this again. and let me give it as a 23. You're not eligible to class. Okay, so just on certain condition, when you want to get the two outputs, okay, you can use a if else statement. Or in a real time, what we can say, in the payments successful. Okay, if the, like, think like in the ATM. Okay, in the ATM, when we given the pin is correct, okay, then only it will grant the access. If not, it will show you the message, right? Error message will be in the else block, and the, if the pin is correct and it will granted access, right, then it will be in the if condition. So when the pin is correct, you need to execute this. When the pin is wrong, you need to execute the false block, which is else block. Okay, so this is the of the if and else statement. Okay, now the if else if ladder. Okay, we have third statement, right? If else if ladder. So what is the if else if ladder means? Okay, same name also we have if else if ladder. So which means basically when you have the multiple conditions in the sequence. Okay, when you have multiple conditions sequentially, like so let me write it out first here. Uh, it is used to check. It is used to check multiple conditions sequentially. Okay, when you want to check multiple conditions sequentially, which means it will depend on the different conditions. Okay, when you want to check the conditions in the sequence, okay, you can check it in the if else if ladder. Let me give you the syntax first, then I will explain you that. Okay, so what is the syntax means? First we will check the if condition. Okay, if and the condition. Okay, the if block basically. And what we are saying, if else if ladder, which means here, if the condition is true, okay, if this condition is true, we will execute this block one. Okay, let's assume this as a block one of the code. Okay, if this condition is false, if this condition is false, it will go to the else block, right? So here we have the else block also, else. But again, condition, again we have to give the if here, which is nothing but is if ladder. Okay, when you want to check the multiple conditions in the sequence or in the sequential manner, you have the if else if condition. So here again we are giving another condition. Let me give it as condition number one. Okay, again if this condition number one is true, you will execute the block 2. You will execute the block 2. If the is also failed, okay, finally you will go to the else block. Okay, finally you will go to the else block, and here you will execute the default block. The default block, which means whatever you have given in this else block, it will be executed if the two conditions are failed. Okay, if the two conditions are false. Okay, so now, so where and when we use, okay, we will go with one example. What we can give. So in this only, okay. Imagine this one only. Here we are just giving you are eligible to class and you are not eligible to class. Okay, in the single case only. But what in the grading system? Okay, you got something like 85. Okay, so for 90, whoever secure the marks above the 90, I need to give the grade as a okay, whoever got the marks between 80 like 75 to 90, okay, we need to give the marks grade B. Whoever got the marks between 50 to 50, okay, there is a multiple conditions right here. Here we have different conditions, so then we have to use a if else if ladder. Okay, let me give like here, enter your marks to check your grade. Okay, let me give it as here. Yes, a grade. Okay, I'm just asking him to enter his marks to check the grade, and I'm storing that marks is integer variable. Okay, first what I'm doing, if the marks are greater than or equals to 90, okay, I'm checking whether his marks are greater than 9, greater than 9. to 90, I need to give him the grade A. Here in the place of here, I am giving grade as a A. Okay, you understand, right? So let's do this one. Okay, this is the first condition. This is a first condition, which means if the marks are grade 90, I can give it as a grade A. What is the condition if the marks are not greater than 90, but they are between the 75? Okay, which are greater than 75. So here, imagine like here, I got the marks as a 85. Okay, imagine I got the marks as a 85. It will, this condition will false, right? Because my 85 is not 90. So this condition will false and it will go to the else block. Okay, here again I'm giving the condition. Here condition, what is my condition? If the marks entered, whatever the marks enter, which are greater than or equal to 75. Okay, 75. Then I have to give the grade as a B. Okay, system dot out dot println as grade B. Okay, here I am giving grade for the 85 marks, okay, which are in the range between 90 and 75. Okay, whoever got the marks between 90 and the 75, they will receive the grade as a B. Okay, and again I want to give the grade C also. Whoever got the marks between 75 and 50, again I can take the here if condition, else if, and here again I will take the condition as whatever the marks are greater than or equals to 50, which means the whatever the marks between 50 and 75, okay, 50 and 75 will receive the grade as C. System dot out dot println of grade C. Okay. Okay, you got it right. So now see this. Let me remove this also. Now see, first I am taking the scanner class to take the input from the user. Here he will enter the marks. Okay, based on the multiple conditions. Okay, he will get the grading. And at the final, if else, okay, last and final, if the marks are below 50, imagine if the marks are below 15, and I have it rule, whoever got the marks below than 50, I just want to print it out as a fail. System dot out dot print. So why I'm explaining this is, so whenever if you have the sequential order to check the conditions, okay, you can use this if else if ladder. Okay, so if the marks are below the 50, then I am directly printing as system.out.println as a fail. Okay, so now let's check it how it works for the different marks. Okay, now it asking me the marks. Let me enter the first with the 49. Okay, so what it will say, it will say I am fail. Okay, let me run this again. Let me run this again and enter the marks between like 65. Okay, so now in the grades, because whoever the marks are greater than 50 and below the 75, they will get the grade as a 70. Because see, check here what have I given now. Here I given the 65 marks. Okay, 65 marks. Imagine here the marks are 65, so 65 is greater than or equals to 90, which is obviously fail. Okay, now it will not execute this block, and again it will check it here. Okay, 65 is greater than or equal to 75. No, again it false, which means it will not execute the true block, it will execute this false block. And again it will check this condition, 65 is greater than or equals to 50. Yeah, obviously 65 is greater or equals, not it is not equal, but it is actually greater than 50. So that's the reason it is printing the grade as a C. Okay, so this is how it works. And the if else if ladder, let me give the final one here as 98, so it will giving the grade A. Okay, so this is how we use the if else if ladder. Okay, so now we will go with the nested if. Okay, so we have the nested if statements. So nested if is nothing but and an if statement. Okay, earlier we discussed of the if statement, right? An if statement inside another if or else block. Okay, so nested nested if statement. So here, which means nested if statement is an if statement. Okay, what? An if statement inside another if statement, another if or else block. Okay, we have one if statement which is inside another if statement is known as a nested if, and I will give the syntax for that. Okay, the syntax will be like this. Okay, first we need to take the if and the condition. Okay, if this condition satisfies, it will go to the if condition, right? So inside this if condition, again I am checking the another if condition, condition number 2. Okay, then it will execute this block. Okay, so this is basically a nested if statement. So when you are checking one condition, and again by if the condition is satisfied, then again I am checking another condition. Okay, so this is known as a nested if. An if statement inside another if statement or else block is known as an if state nested if statement. Okay, uh, let me comment out this and we will see here itself, right? Okay, so now see, by default I am taking one boolean here. Okay, one boolean and taking the attendance. Okay, I am just assuming e as attendance, as attendance attendance equals to true. Okay, boolean is nothing but true or false. Okay, so the when you are using the comparison or relational operators, okay, it also give the output as a true. Okay, when you are giving the condition in the if statement or any conditional statement, we have to take the output of that condition has to be true or false. So just I taken the boolean values, and here I will ask him to enter the marks. Okay, so based on the marks, uh, let me take that as enter your marks only, simple, right? Okay, now I will give one condition first here. If has attendance, if he has attendance, if he has attendance, then he has to go to certain block of code. Again here, let me print it out like this. Okay, system dot out dot print ln. Okay, now here uh, you have attendance. I'm just printing like that. Okay, you have attendance, and after that I'm checking the condition. If the marks are greater than or equals to 65, okay, greater than or equals to 65, system dot out dot print ln, and this I'm allowing to placement cell. Okay, and just if he has attendance and if he has a marks greater than 65, then only I'm allowing him to enter the placement cell. Okay, so what here I'm doing, first I'm taking one if condition, again inside that if condition again I am checking the another condition. Okay, so basically it is an if statement inside another if statement, which means nested if condition. Okay, so you can use it in the if or you can use it in the else block also. Okay, if let me take, if we didn't have the attendance, okay, like what we will do, let me do one thing here. I will do the has attendance and not attendance also, as no attendance. Okay, so now let me take this as a has no attendance. Okay, if it is not attendance means I have to give the false, right? So false, as no attendance. Okay, which means this is a false condition. Then it will go to the else statement. In again, after going to the statement, okay, now again I am using one if condition. Okay, in the else statement also I can keep my if condition, which is the meaning of the nested if. Okay, what is the meaning of the nested if there is an if condition inside if or else block. Okay, I have given in the if also, and also I am giving in the else block also. If he has no attendance, then he has to be the marks are greater than 95. Okay, I just given the two conditions. Okay, you need to have the attendance. Okay, and the marks has to be greater than 65. If you have not, if you didn't have any attendance, okay, so then your marks has to be greater than 95. Okay, just a random one. So I will just run this program, run as Java application. So here it will asking the marks as a 65. Okay, I'm just giving the marks as a 65. Just think it here. Okay, I just given the marks as a 65, and it will check the condition has no attendance, which means false. Okay, which means false, obviously. So false means we what this true block will not execute. Where when will be the if condition block will execute if the condition is true, but here the condition is false. Okay, by default we are giving it as a false. Then it will go to the if else block, and it will check inside that else block. It will check. Okay, let me print out this also here. Control C. Okay, and save it, and it will give you have no attendance. You have no attendance. Okay, and it will check whether you have marks greater than 95 or not. Okay, you didn't have that marks. Okay, you didn't have that many marks. So then we need to write it in the else block. Okay, we can use the else block also, right? So what we can say, you have not attendance and you also didn't have the marks, so we are not allowing you. You are not allowed to placement cell. Okay, so here also you can use the else block here. Here also you can use that else block as you are not allowed to placement cell if your marks are less than 65. But here the marks are 65, but you didn't have attendance, so it will not execute this if block. It will go directly go to the else block, and it will check this. You have no attendance, the marks. Okay, you are not. If the marks are greater than 95, it will show you allowing to the placement cell. If the marks are not greater than 95, it will show you the else. Okay, we'll see what it happens. Again, I need to run this because I changed some code. Okay, run as Java application. Again, I will give the 65. Okay, now what it will say, see, you have no attendance. So first one was printed successfully. Here it came and it is checking here. This condition is false. So it go to the else part and printed, you are not allowed to the placement cell. Okay, so now we will change this part now. Okay, now we change this part. Okay, I just taken as a has attendance and run this. Now I will enter the 65 only. Okay, enter the 65. Enter. See, you have the attendance now, but also you have the marks greater than or equal to 65. Okay, here it came and it is true, as attendance is true, right? So it will execute this block, which means you have attendance, and it will check the condition marks are greater than or equal to 65, which are not greater than 65 but are 65. So it will go and execute this if block, which means allowing to the placement cell. Okay, so based on your requirement, you can use the nested if also, which means nothing but you can use if statement inside the another if or else block. Okay, so this is about the nested if. Okay, the time is 52. So we have the switch statement also. We will discuss about switch statement in the next class. These are the four statements we discussed today: if statement, if else statement, if else if, and nested if. Okay, so we will discuss that switch statement in the tomorrow's class. So we will take 2 minutes. So we will come in the 12:55. Okay, then we will discuss about we'll take the Java JSP class. Okay, so in the today's JSP, we'll discuss to take the form, and we'll check with the login like that. Okay, login functionality. We will give one form and we will check whether the given details we will retrieve from the input, and we'll compare the data, will redirect into the home page. Okay, we'll do small example on the login page and we will do that. Okay, we'll take the 2 minutes of break, guys, and we'll come back after 2 minutes sharply. Okay. Or if anybody have any doubts regarding anything from the today's class or any previous class, you can also, and you can ask me or you can ping me in the chat box also if you are not taking the break. Okay, guys, uh, we'll go to the, okay, these are about the conditional statements. Now we'll change our perspective to the Java EE to deal with our dynamic web projects. Okay, so this is our dynamic web project, right? My first JSP Java pro main, okay, web app. So before going into that, I think I need to stop my running Eclipse. So let me stop this one. So if not, it will again create an error for us. Okay, now we will run this project. Okay, first we will run this project, and where we are, we will see this. So this is our first project, right? So this is project, and here we are in the welcome, and the welcome. We yesterday created a register file, right? So when you click on the register, when you want to take the data from the user, okay, when you want to take the data from the user, okay, we are using this form. Okay, whatever the here I'm just him and my email. So whatever the data you have inside the form data, we need to retrieve it by using request.getParameter. Okay, I already explained it to you. So when I click on the submit button, based on the action address, okay, it will go to that page. Now this is in the welcome page. So here it will get my name. I retrieve my email and the Gmail. Okay. Now this is one type of a form where we can take the input, take data, and we can process that data into that action method class. Okay, we will do that now. Like we will create the login page here. Okay, so here it's not showing we didn't created any code in that. Okay, so but now today we'll do one login example. Uh, See, login pages are important. Okay, so login pages are important in our web applications. So login is the most common use case in the web applications. Okay, it also uses for authentications or what we can say personalization, and for the access control. Access control is means when you want to use our application, we have to give the login functionality, right? So for that we use the login access. Now, the login form in the welcome file, we have the login file, right? So, which when we click on the login, okay, it has to go to the page number page3.jsp file, which is here, page3.jsp file. Now, when we reach this login page, okay, when we reach this login page, I'm taking one header. Okay, I'm just taking one header as a login. Okay, login page. Okay, so in the login page, what we need to do, we need to take the user data, okay, which means user details like user and his password and the submit button. So when you want to take the user input, what we need to take? We need to take that data in the form, right? So in the form itself, we need to take the data of the user. In the form, we have attributes. Okay, in the form, we have two attributes. Yesterday, as explained to you, we have action tag. Okay, so to where to send the data, where you are receiving the data, we need to give that file address in the action. And we also have the method. Okay, we also have the method attribute. So to how to send the data in the get method or in the post method. Okay, now we need to take the username from the user, right? From the client. So here, let me take the username in the input tag. So we need to tag. So username, I'm just taking the type as a text. Okay. So in the input tag, we have type name, text, email, password. Okay. We have different types of inputs. Use the type equals to text for the username, and I just want to give the username. To retrieve the data for this particular field, we require the name. Okay, so let me take that as a username. Here I just given the name, and I will use the break tag, just using the two break tags here, so for better display. And next I have to take the password, right? So password, I'm taking the input tag. Okay, in the input tag, so for the password, we have the type equals to password. In the previous class, I also explained for the email, we have different type equals to email. So same like that for the password, you also have the type equals to password. Okay. So if you don't know what of input type we have to take, see here we have different types of inputs. Okay. So you can take whatever you want based on your requirement. Okay, type equals to password, and again I'm taking the name for that. So I just give the password as a pwd and the two breaks. Okay, so br tag will print it out code in the next line. Okay, so after entering username and the password, what we can do, we can give the submit button. So here also we have the input tag. So when you have taken the type equal to submit, it will give you the submit button. Okay, to submit. Now after entering, when we click on the submit button, we need to take that data, right? So we need to take that data and we need to process that data. So what we need to do here, so let me take login process.jsp. See here we have that page or not? Didn't have that page, right? Login process.jsp. So we need to create one more page here. Go to the web app, right click on that, take the new and JSP file. Okay, login process JSP page. Now we have the login process.jsp. In the page 3, we are entering the data and we need to take when we submit. Okay, when we submit, the data has to go and process on the login process.jsp. So here we need to process the data. Okay, here we need to process the data. Okay, to process the data, we need to get that. Okay, we need to get that data. So to get the data was a request form. So we need to use the request.get parameter. Okay, we need to use request.get parameter. So those are Java code. So when you want to embed the Java code in the JSP, you need to use the scriptlet tags. Okay, these are the scriptlet tags. You can use the Java code. Okay, without scriptlet tags, what we will see here, I am just declaring integer a equals to 10. Okay, I'm just declaring integer a equals to 10, and we will see what will happen. And just I refresh it, and I will go to here, and I just refresh this, and go to the login page. See, this is my login username and the password. If I submit this, it will directly go to the username equals to here. See, it directly printing. What if I manipulate it like this? Integer b equals to 10. Integer b equals to 10. A plus b integer c. Okay, integer c. Whatever we have written in this, it will directly print it out like that itself. Okay, it will directly print it out like that itself. If we have given like system dot out dot print of c. Okay, see, we will see what it happens here. See, it's just printing like that, but it's not any Java operations, right? So what if we have done same in the script tags? Okay, in this scriptlet tags, see, it giving me the error here. But in the previous here, when I just didn't given this semicolon, okay, so works, but it is not taking Java. Okay, it is not recognizing that code. Whatever the code we have written, it not recognizing as a Java. But in the case of the scriptlet tags, it is recognizing as a Java. It's saying you didn't get the semicolon, so I'm showing that compilation error. Okay, when I given the semicolon, the error was gone. Okay, now we will see. Okay, in the JSP, when you want to print it out the client, okay, client server, here we are using out.println. Okay, so now we will see it here. See, it's just printing the whatever the output we are giving, out.println c. Okay, 10 plus 10 20, so it's just printing out the 20. Okay, so when you want to write the JSP Java code in the JSP, you need to use this scriptlet tags. Okay, so this is a one point. And here is enter something, but without entering itself, when I submit here, it is going into the login process. Okay, so we need to keep one requirement, right? So what we need to keep here, we need to give the required add. Okay, without entering the fields, we don't need to go to the next page, which is required. Okay, refresh, go back, refresh this and submit now. See, it is showing the error to enter the values, and this is the one thing. And again, here see, instead of submit, if you want to give any value to that, like a login or a register or whatever, you can give it in this input submit, right? In the type submit, you can give the value attribute here. So value, so whatever the value you want to print it on that button, okay, you can give it. Like I want to give the value as a login button, so I just given and refresh this. See here, I got the login. If you want to give the value as a register, give it, save it, and go here and refresh this. See, you can get register. So based on your requirement, if you want to do the customized values for your button, submit button, you can give it. Okay, submit button. and the login button. Okay, this is one thing. And let me give the fields here. My fields are Radha Krishna and password at the rate 0313. Okay, and I enter the and click the value. See, I am coming into the login process, but whatever my credential data, sensitive data is there, that was displaying, that was appended to this link. Okay, so which is not secure, right? So we have to check why it is appending, because in our method we didn't give anything. By default it will take the get method. So to secure our details, okay, so which should not append to the link, so we need to give the post method. We need to give the post method. Let me refresh this and give my details again. Okay, and see here we use the type as a password, so it's not showing my password, it's just giving in the dot symbols login. Now see, it was going into the login process but without my field appending to that link. Okay, so that is a one point. And after entering that, what we need to do actually, we need to process the data by checking the details are correct or not. Okay, we need to check whether the details are correct or not. So before that we need to the data whatever he has entered. So now I'm taking the string for the username data type. Okay, so here he has given the username, right? Username for the name. So by this name, by using the request dot get parameter, which is a request body. Okay, here we need to give the name of that parameter. So what is the name we have given? Username. So whatever the username he has entered that was in that input, we given the name for that input, right? So based on that name, using the request dot get parameter, we are retrieving the username. So just same like a username, we can also retrieve the password. So here string password equals to request dot get parameter. What is the name we have given? Field pwd, right? So in the login process, by using request dot get parameter, here in the name of username I am giving the password. Okay, so now it will, what it will do, it will retrieve the username here, it will retrieve username here. Now here it will retrieve the password. Okay, it will retrieve the password. Okay, today we discussed about the condition, right? So here let me use the one if condition. If username, whatever username he has entered, and just giving the default value. Okay, when you want to compare the two values in the string, we use the equals method. Don't confuse here. You want to compare the two strings, we equals method. That's it. Okay, I'm giving default username here as an admin. Just giving the default value as a admin. Username is equals to admin. It will check whether this admin and this or not. Okay, and again, what I need to check now to check, right? So here, let me take that password. Sorry, pwd dot equals to same admin. I think I have given the password also admin itself. Okay, admin itself. But here this is one condition. Okay, this is another condition. Okay, this is one condition. This is when you want to combine conditions. Okay, when you want to combine the two conditions, what type of operators we have to use? Yesterday I given examples for the. So if my username and password both are correct only, then only I have to welcome him. If not, I don't want to welcome, or I just want to give the welcome with his username and login successful. Okay, so here when you want to combine the two conditions, we need to use the logical operators. So here in my case, I need to equal both the conditions. So I'm using and symbols. Okay, this is logical and. if username and password is correct, okay, I need to print it out, I need to welcome him. If if my username or if my username or password is wrong, okay, I need to print it out as invalid username or password. Okay, invalid username or a password. But see here, I am taking the what this is in a JSP elements, right, which is HTML. So when you are writing the JSP element Java code, it's showing you the error. Okay, it's showing you the error. So to embed your code with JSP and all your HTML code, what we need to do is, so this is till now the Java code, right? So you can write the Java code in the scriptlet tags. Okay, now let me end my scriptlet tags here first. Okay, now this is whatever you have written, this is comes under Java. Okay, after the scriptlet tags, okay, this is again the Java code, right? So again, let me open the scriptlet tags here. Okay, I have opened my scriptlet tags here. So whatever there, after ending the scriptlet tags and before opening the scriptlet tags, you can write your HTML tags. Okay, you can write your HTML tags. Basically, it feel confusing. Okay, but don't worry. We are here. From here, we are ending the JSP code. After that, we are writing some HTML content, opening triplet tags. That's it. Okay, so if the username and the password are correct, okay, here we just welcome him, welcome, okay, with expression tags, which is same basically scriptlet tag, but when you use equal symbol, it comes into the expression tag. I just want to print it out as username, okay, and login successful. I'm just giving the message as login successful. Okay, and here if he fails, okay, this is also Java code. I want to take the HTML content, so I will end it and again open this, because here this is a Java code. That single bracket also includes in the Java code, so I just open again. Now again here I will use a h2, here I will say invalid credentials, something like that. Okay, invalid credentials. Okay, we are done with this. Now go to the page 3 and refresh it here and give the invalid details, which means Radha, and I'm just giving invalid details as a, okay, what are the actual details? Admin, and is if we given admin as a username and the pass successful. Let's try this. Login. Okay, see, it's showing me the invalid credentials. Okay, it's showing me the invalid credentials. Go back here and give the correct details as an admin and the admin. Login. So welcome admin, login successful. Welcome admin, login successful. So this is how we use the form in the login and the login process, by giving the details in the form and retrieving back by using request.get parameter form data. Okay, and then conditions if, okay, and using the logical operators, we will check that username correct or not, and just we are displaying some data. Okay, just this in your home. Okay, practice on this form data like a small login functionality by giving the default values. Okay, here I just given the default values as admin and admin, right? It's your wish, you can give your small details and practice on that. Okay, so if you have any doubts regarding anything, okay, if you have stuck anywhere, you can just ping me in the WhatsApp, or you can just ping me in that group also. Okay, thank you guys, thank you for attending this class.